Hey guys, so as some of you may have seen already, I DNF'd my first book. Now, for those of you who don't know what DNF means, that means did not finish. We here in the bookish community love our acronyms and abbreviations. Now, like a lot of other readers in the community, I apply for ARCs. And what that means is advanced reader's copy. So to get an ARC, you apply and wait for the publisher or platform to approve it. So far, I've had really good luck. The first one was a 4-star read for me, and the second one was 5 stars. So when it came time for this third one, I was really excited. It's called The Stranger at the Wedding by A.E. Gauntlet. I was excited because one, it's a thriller, and I love me a good thriller, and it was an audiobook. Well, I started listening to it and it just quickly went downhill. I could not get into this story. But I like to give a book the benefit of the doubt because sometimes you just have to get through the first few chapters and then things start to like come together. Either the writing gets better or you connect to a character or something. Something usually happens, at least in my experience. So I was giving it more time, and it still just was not doing it for me. So I reached 35% and I was like, I can't do it. And I gave it that long because it was an arc. And, as an arc reader, the point is for you to give feedback on the book. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just give it longer. Even if it's like a 2 or 2.5 star read, I'll just, get through it. And so I can give complete feedback, right? But as time went on, I just really did not want to revisit this book. It really took a lot for me to hit play. Because it was an arc and I felt so guilty, I even Googled if you can DNF an arc. Now, I know that probably sounds stupid, but yeah, I just wanted to see if other people did it too. So it turns out you can. So I made the decision to DNF. The first reason was related to the narrator. I could understand everything and her voice was pleasant, but my main gripe was that she made no effort to distinguish between the different characters. Now, I know that a lot of people don't like when it's a single narrator reading for like men and women and everybody in between. But when you don't make any effort at all to differentiate between the characters, it's one, it's hard to tell who's talking, and two, it's hard to tell which POV the story's being told from at the time. Most of the time, I'm just trying to figure out who's talking, what's going on, because everybody sounds the same. So most voice actors, at least in the books that I've listened to, even if it's multiple women, they'll change something about the voice, whether it's the pacing or the accent or just the energy in the voice. They do something, right? They're voice actors. They know how to do things with their voice. And this woman did not do any of that. However, if that was it, I would have stuck through. But that wasn't it. There was more. The storytelling wasn't linear. And that's not a problem. I've read plenty of books like that, totally fine. However, when you make no indication that there is a change in storyline, character POV, nothing, and you just keep going through the rest of the story, how am I supposed to know what's going on? Especially when the voice actor is not doing anything to differentiate between the characters. If, she was doing something where I could tell what character it was, then that would have been easier to figure out where or when we were in the story, right? Like if I know character A only appears in the past and I hear, their voice, then I know that we're in the past. But there wasn't any of that. So those two things combined just made it really confusing. And it didn't flow. Like I don't know. It just wasn't doing it. It wasn't hitting, as the young kids say. And then the third major problem I had with this book was it seemed really formal in the style of writing. Now, if that's your thing, great. But it just disconnected me from everything and felt more of like a detached description of what was happening. Even though it was from first person, it felt detached. I just couldn't care less. Like, that's a really bad sign when you just don't care about what's going on in the book. Like, it's probably time to call it quits. I feel bad. I never want to hate on somebody's work. I know this author worked really hard, and I feel bad poo pooing on her work. I know some people don't believe in DNFing, and that's fine. I totally get that perspective, but I have too many books I want to read. I'm having less and less time to read these days because of other things going on. And so I just really want to spend time with books that I'm enjoying. And one of the points to, giving arcs out to readers is so publishers and authors can make some tweaks right before it's published to everybody. So hopefully they can take the commentary and critiques and all that, and maybe make some tweaks to this one. If not, the author and the publisher can take that and apply it to her future work. How did you guys feel after your first DNF? Because, like, while I feel liberated and that I don't have to like force myself to finish this book, I also feel really bad. Now, there are plenty of like 3, 4, and 5-star reviews. I never want to discourage anybody from reading something. If you can get it for free on like Libby or Hoopla or something like that at some point, go for it. Give it a shot. You might like it. All right. Well, on to the next one. Happy reading.